Good morning, class. This is Rosalinda B. McDowell, your Fundamentals of Accountancy, Business and Management 1 subject teacher. Once again, I would like to welcome you to our video class. But before that, I would want us to put our presence first before God, and we will have our prayer first.
Okay, class, once again, good morning. Our lesson for today is about the users of accounting information. For your learning objectives, at the end of the lesson, you will be able to, number one, define external users and give examples. Two, define internal users and give examples. Number three, identify the type of decisions made by each group of users. Number four, describe the type of information needed by each group of users. Before we will proceed to our lesson for today, I would want us to have some review from our previous lesson. What is the meaning of accounting? Anybody from the class? Why is accounting considered as the language of the business? Okay, according to AST or Accounting Standards Council, accounting, it is a service activity. Its function is to provide quantitative information, primarily financial in nature, about economic entities that is intended to be useful in making economic decisions. According to the AAA or American Accounting Association, it is the process of identifying, measuring, and communicating economic information to permit informed judgment and decisions by the users of the information. For ICPA, or the American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, it is an art of recording, classifying, summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money, transactions, and events which are in part of at least in financial character and interpreting the results thereof. So, in summary, accounting is the language of business. Why do you think so? Yes, because accounting would give the users or the owner a better an accounting information to make a better financial decisions. Okay, I know someday that some of you will venture into business. You will become an entrepreneur. What kind of business that you would want to enter into someday? Anybody from the class? Okay, so you would want to be involved in buying and selling of farm produce. What else? Okay, so if you are a businessman, What do you want to know about your business? Anybody from the class? Okay, yes, you would want to know how much income have I earned for a certain period? Yes, how much receivables do I have? Very good. What else? Yes, how much do I owe from my suppliers? What else? What kind of information that you would want to know about your business? Yes, how much cash do you have? My next question is, what possible decisions can accounting support for your business by using the accounting information that you have, knowing that accounting is the language of the business? Yes? Yes, you will be able to know if you can pay your liabilities or not. Yes, you will be able to know if you have available funds for you to expand your business. Yes, you will be able to know if you can afford to buy another equipment or not, or if you need to take a loan so that you can expand your business. Yes, you would know as well if you need to cut off some unnecessary costs. Yes, you will be able to know as well if you need to adjust your selling price. Okay, my next question is, do you think the local government unit is interested for your records and reports? Okay, we will leave that question for now and we will answer it later. So before we will proceed to our topic for today, I would want you to group yourselves into 5. Then I want you to arrange the scrambled letters to form the correct word by using the clue given. I will give you 4 minutes to do your activity. Okay, for group 1, I want you to arrange the scrambled letters in picture 1 to come up with the right word, as well as picture 2 for group 2, picture 3 for group 3, picture 4 for group 4, and picture 5 for group 5. Okay, time is up. I want each group to present your work. Okay, for picture number 1, what is the word? Yes, it's investors. How about group 2? Yes, employees. How about group 3? Yes, the word is lenders. How about group 4? Yes, the word is government. How about group 5? Yes, the word is public. What do you think is the relationship of our activity for our lesson for today? Yes, those are the users of the accounting information, which is our topic for today. Okay, our lesson for today is about the users of accounting information. Who uses accounting data or information, and what their information needs for them to be able to come up with a sound decision for their business. There are 2 broad users of the accounting information. The internal users, or the primary users, and the external users, or the secondary users. So for the internal users, these are the managers, the finance directors, the production supervisors, the company officers, and the owners. So the internal users of accounting information are those individuals inside the company who plan, organize and run the business. These users are directly involved in managing and operating the business. For the internal or the primary users, like the management, what information do they need? So they need the information of the income or their earnings for the period, their sales, their available cash, and their production cost. So what the decision can the accounting information help to support the internal or the primary users? Yes, they can help to support to analyze the organization's performance, position, and take appropriate measures to improve the company's operation results, sufficiency of cash to pay dividends to stockholders. Accounting information could communicate back to the management if the business is doing very well. It can help them as well to analyze if they were able to target or to reach their goals. It can also help them as well if they need to improve their business operations, some kind of economic decision making that would help the business achieve its goals. Okay, another internal user of accounting information are the employees. What information needed? Okay, they need to know the profit for the period as well as the salaries paid to the employees. For what? So that they could be able to decide for their job security or consider to stay in the company as an employee or look for another job opportunities from another company. So of course, if you are working in a company, you would want to find out if the company that you are working with is still gaining or earning. Because if not, then you need to look for another job. Because of course, your future is at stake. So that's why they needed that kind of information for them to be able to know if the company could still be able to pay their salaries or if the company could be able to pay their benefits as well as for their future retirement. So these are actually some of the benefits that the employee should have that should also be paid by the company. But of course, if the company is losing, of course, soon it will be closed. So that's why this information are very crucial as well to the employees. Another internal user of accounting information are the owners. Okay, so what information that they need? So they need to know the profit or income for the period, the resources, the assets of the business, and liabilities of the business. So for decisions supported, so consideration regarding additional investments, expanding the business, borrowing funds to support any business expansions plans. Of course, when the business owners initialize their business, what they have in mind is for their business to have a return of investment through a profit. Of course, they are very keen to know all this information, this financial information, for them to be able to know exactly what happened to their business. They need as well to know what kind of plans that they need to have so that it can improve the business. Either they need to expand the business. They would actually know from the accounting information if they need to expand their business or if they have funds enough to support their plans. But if not, then that's the time that they need to decide whether they need to take a loan or not. It would actually help them as well to take some review if what are the things that they need still to improve in the operations for them to be able to achieve their target or their goals. So accounting information is presented to internal users usually in the form of management accounts, budgets, forecasts, and financial statements. So this information will support whatever decision of the internal users. So for management accounts, it is a form of financial report used by business owners and management for day-to-day and strategic decision-making. They are produced usually on a monthly or quarterly basis and provide insight into the current financial health of the business by tracking various key performance indicators. In short, management accounts need not only include what a board or management team need to see. The report should contain enough performance analysis and financial data so that investment decisions can be made in a well-informed manner by decisions maker. So another accounting information is budget. So budget is an estimate of income and expenditure for a set period of time. The aim of budgeting is to keep the cost down. So this budget is very important to the management because as much as possible, they really would want to minimize the cost that will be incurred by the company, but they would want as well to maximize as much as possible the income. Another form of financial information is forecasting. So forecasting is the process of making predictions based on past and present data and mostly commonly by analysis of trends. A commonplace example might be estimation of some variable of interest at some specified future date. So usually when you would do the forecasting, of course you would forecast the income of the company as well as its expenses. So as much as possible, you would want to make your income or your sales higher, as well as you would want to forecast your expenses to be lower or to minimize your cost. So you need to set a period of time for you to be able to forecast. Then afterwards, you're going to compare what happened to the operations of the business by looking or by comparing the past data that you use against your forecast. Okay, take for example, if you forecasted that your target sales for the month will be 1 million, so your past sales is 900,000, then your target is 1 million, or you forecasted 1 million pesos for your sales. Then you need to look the actual, what is really your actual sales. So from there, you can actually see what happened to the operations. If your actual sales is lower than your projected sales, then the management actually will look at it rigidly, what really happened to it, as well as with the expenses especially. So when the management would project an expenses, take for example the expenses for the oil, for the fuel. So if they would budget this amount, okay, take for example 100,000 pesos for the expenses of fuel for the whole month, and then the actual of it is higher, so they will look at it directly, intently, what happened, why is that so that the company incurred the expenses of fuel higher than what is budgeted. So another form of accounting information are the financial statements. So financial statements are the reports that provide the detail of the entity's financial information, including assets, liabilities, equities, incomes, and expenses, shareholders' contribution, cash flow, and other related information during the period of time. So financial statements actually are very crucial to, especially to the owners. Why? Because it would really communicate back to the owner what really happened to the business, what the business owns, what the business owes, and what is his claim or her claim to the business. So decisions made by the internal users through the use of the accounting information. So, for example, to analyze the profitability of the byproducts and operational units. So, of course, the management can use the financial information for them to be able to decide and to look very deeply on what really happened to the business operations, if it meets the goal, and they can actually see as well and address any variance from there. The accounting information could also help the internal users to decide the need for cash flows to support the operations. Of course, from the accounting information, the management could see if they still have available cash for them to be able to support the business operations. The accounting information could also help the internal users to decide whether to buy or sell business segments. So in some point in the business life, with the use of the accounting information, the management actually could decide whether they need to drop or to sell this business segment because it's not really making any income, or if they would want to buy that business segment from other company through the use of the accounting information. Okay, the accounting information could also help the internal users to decide whether to build new production facilities. Of course, based on the accounting information that they have, they can actually see if they really need to expand their business. Of course, the very motive of the owners while they engage into business is because of the profit, of course. More production, more sales, more profit.
Okay, another type of accounting information users are the external or the secondary users. External users are individuals and organizations outside a company who want a financial information about the company. These users are not directly involved in managing and operating the business. The two most common types of external users are potential investors and creditors. So for the investors, they would use the accounting information for analyzing the feasibility of investing in the company. Investors want to make sure that they can earn a reasonable return on their investments before they commit any financial resources to the company. So for the potential investors, they use accounting information to make decisions to buy share of the company. Of course, if you would want to invest into a business, you would want to make it sure first what is the status and what is the health of the financial condition of the company. Because of course, if you would invest your money and then only to find out that they are already losing and the company will be going to close their business soon, so it will not be a good investment. Okay, so the other external users of the accounting information are the creditors. So the creditors would use the accounting information for determining the credit worthiness of the organization. Terms of credit are set by creditors according to the assessment of their customers' financial condition. Creditors include suppliers as well as lenders of finance such as banks. Creditors such as suppliers and bankers use the accounting information to evaluate the risk of granting credit or lending money. So, the creditors actually will never open a credit line to any businesses unless they will first see the financial condition of a certain business or company. Of course, they understand the risk that if they would open the credit line or lend money to this business, then it so happened that the business actually is already losing, so they would lose their money as well. So the creditors would really want to make it sure that whenever they would lend or open a credit line for this customer, then that customer should be able to pay them back. So they can do that by the use of the accounting information. Okay, another external users of the accounting information are the customers. So the customers would use the accounting information for assessing the financial position of its suppliers, which is necessary for them to maintain a stable source of supply in the long term. Okay, take for example NCCC store as the customer. Then their supplier is Procter and Gamble, the one who would manufacture all kinds of bar soaps, laundry soaps like take for example Tide bar. So before NCCC would sign any contract with Procter and Gamble, they would want to make it sure that they can analyze first the financial condition of Procter and Gamble so that they can be sure of that Procter and Gamble can supply their demand without interrupting their grocery operations. So they just actually would want to make it sure that they have ample supplies of groceries so that they can reach their target, which is their customer satisfaction. Because looking actually for a supplier, it's not easy. You have to comply a lot of documents before you can actually enter into contracts. So of course, if this company could not really supply their demand, then it will really hamper their operation as well. So it's much better that NCCC would look for some reliable suppliers to their that could really help their operations. Another external users of the accounting information are the regulatory authorities. So they would use the accounting information to ensure that the company's disclosure of any accounting information is in accordance with the rules and regulations set in order to protect the interest of the stakeholders who rely on such information in forming their decisions. So these regulatory authorities are the BIR, SEC, DOLI, SSS, and LGU.
So these regulatory authorities would require you to submit your accounting information to their agencies so that they can be sure of that your business is operating according to the mandate of the law.
Okay, take for example the BIR. They would actually require you to submit your financial statements, annual financial statement. Then after that, they would analyze your reports. Then if they could find that what you have disclosed in your financial statements are true, so they would issue you a certificate certifying that you are in compliance with the rules and regulations of the government. But if not, then they will visit your company, they will penalize you, or worse, they will close your business.
And they will file a case against you for tax evasion.
So for SEC, or the Securities and Exchange Commission, so they are the regulating body for all the businesses in our country. So they would require you to submit your business information to their agency annually. So if you would refuse to, then they will revoke your registration. So once they would revoke your registration, so it means to say that your business is operating illegally.
For the Department of Labor and Employment, they would need your accounting information for them to be able to see if you are following the labor code of the Philippines. If not, then they will penalize your company or your business. As well as with the social security system, they would want to make it sure that you have paid the benefits of your workers.
So for the LZU, or the local government unit, they would actually use your
accounting information because they have some kind of rules that all organizations should have an accreditation with the LGU. So one of the requirements is your financial information for them to see as well if your business is operating legally and in accordance with the law. So if you are running a business here in our locality, one of the requirements is for you to renew your business permit annually. So I know that one of the requirements as well is your financial information. Okay, what decisions by the external users that could be helped by the use of the accounting information? Okay, the external users could be helped by the use of the accounting information, whether they need to buy or sell the shares of the entity. The external users could use the accounting information if they need to open a credit line or to extend a loan to a certain business or company or not. So the accounting information could also help the external users whether to have sales or purchase transactions with the entity, just like what I have explained earlier. Then, the external users like the BIR could also use the accounting information if they need to impose taxes or how much taxes that the company should pay to the government. So for the summary of the differences between the internal and external users, the internal users of accounting information are those who are involved in planning, organizing, and running the business. They need more detailed information on a timely basis in order to support their decisions. Example of these internal users are the managers, employees, and owners. While the external users of accounting information are those individuals or organizations outside a company who are interested in its financial position information. Example of these external users are potential investors, suppliers, and government agencies. Okay, for your group activity, I would want to group you into two groups. So I will give you 10 minutes for you to prepare your presentation. So for group 1, so your topic will be the external users of accounting information. So your guide questions will be who are the external users of accounting information. Then explain the specific needs of each type of external users. So same as well with group 2. So your topic will be the internal users of accounting information. So your guide questions are who are the internal users of financial information. Then explain the specific need of each type of internal users. So for your rubrics, your group presentation will be 10 points. Then relativity to the topic is 10 points. Then your cooperation is 5 points. So total of 25 points. So you can start now. Okay, so from your activity, I would want you to answer or classify if it is external or internal users. Number 1, creditor. Is it external or internal users? How about customers? How about employees? How about the general public? How about the government? Is it internal or external users? How about the management? How about the owner or stockholders? How about the assistant director? How about the potential investors? Are they external or internal users? How about BIR and SEC? Are they external or internal users? Okay, I would like to ask you a question. How can you say that the accounting information is very important to you as the owner of the business someday or as an employee in a certain company? Anybody from the class?
Okay, very good. So as the owner of the company, the accounting information is very important to you for you to be able to know exactly if your company is doing well or not. Then for you as well to be able to make some sound economic decisions for the better of your business. So as an employee as well, you need the accounting information for you to decide whether you would want to stay in the company or you would look for another work from other company. You need to see as well if your company could still be able to pay your salary, could pay your benefits, as well as could pay for your retirement in the future. So I want to ask, based on our unanswered question earlier about if the local government will be interested with our accounting information. So do you think so that the local government is interested in your accounting reports? Anybody from the class? Are those in LGU external or internal users? Why? Okay, so for your quiz, I want you to get one for sheet of paper. I want you to answer the multiple choice, not 1 to 5. So select the letter that corresponds to the correct answer. Okay, class, for your assignment, I want you to read in advance about the topic in forms and types of organization. So that is all our lesson for today. Please stay safe, everyone. Be blessed. I will see you again on our next video lesson.